Right, listen up. There's a reason I've got a smile plastered across my face today. And if you know me even a wee bit, you'll already guess what it is. We're talking Champions League. Not just that. We're diving headfirst into coefficients, seedings, rankings, all the juicy bits that give us an idea of where Celtic stands and what lies ahead. And let me tell you, there's plenty to unpack. The season's done and dusted now. 24, 25 in the books, so it's the ideal time to hit pause and take stock of what's just happened and what might be coming next. We're only weeks away now from the start of Champions League qualification, and even though Celtic didn't come into play until the very end of that process, there are still things that could shift before we kick a ball in anger. So today's plan is simple. I'm going to walk you through every bit of info you need to can about Celtic's journey back into the Champions League. Because let's face it, if we do qualify this time, it'll be historic. 4 years on the bounce in the group stage. Never been done before by the club. That in itself is massive. Now, before we dive deep into the maze of UEFA coefficients and whatnot, let's just take a second to acknowledge how close we were this year to automatic qualification. Scotland finished 11th in the UEFA Association coefficient rankings for the 23-24 season, which meant the Scottish champions, in this case Celtic, landed in the final round of Champions League qualifying. That's our own bloody round away from the group stage. But had we just climbed one spot higher, into 10th, we'd have gone straight into the league phase. No qualifiers, no nerves, just right in. And get this, the Czech Republic, sitting in that golden 10th spot, had the same points total as us, 36.05. Identical. So why were they ahead of us? It's no alphabetical order, I'll tell you that. UEFA's got some backroom tiebreaker. Maybe higher single season total or some other bizarre metric. Either way, it stings. Slavia Prague, our champions, are already in the group stage, and that could have been us. It just shows how tight things are in that part of the table. Fast forward to where we are now after the 24-25 campaign, and unfortunately, we've dropped a few places. Scotland's now sitting 14th. A decent European season for us, right enough with a 9.25 haul, but the nations around us, Greece with 12.6, Norway with 11.8, just had stormers. They leapfrogged us, simple as that. Still, for Celtic, nothing changes. We win the Premiership and we're still entering the same playoff round. 14th or 11th, it makes no difference in terms of this season's path. Now here's where things could get tricky. If Scotland drops to 15th, then we're talking more than one qualifying round, which is something we definitely want to avoid. We've been there before. Multiple qualifying rounds through the summer heat, traveling to far-off corners of Europe, trying to avoid banana skins in early July. And trust me, it's not the vibe. What we want is consistency and a manageable route. One tie, two legs, boom, in or out. But getting up to 10th, that's still the dream. That guarantees straight access to the group stage if you win the league. Looking at the numbers though, it's a tall order. Turkey are sitting in 10th right now with 43.9 points, and we're back at 35.5. That's a canyon of a gap. Not going to be bridged in one season unless there's some miracle across the board. So yeah, it's fair to say automatic entry is probably off the table for the next few years, barring something extraordinary. Still, things go in cycles, don't they? And in the grand scheme, Celtic's position could be a whole lot worse. We're seeded in our playoff round, which is a far cry from the days of 2017, 2018, where we had 4 qualifying rounds to get through. Anyone remember? Those playing ties in Kazakhstan and Armenia in mid-July, praying our left back doesn't get crocked on a plastic pitch. Compared to that, this current setup feels like a luxury. So let's look at Celtic's own club coefficient, the 1. That determines how UEFA ranks us directly. You'll need to scroll down a fair bit in that list, sadly. We're sitting 59th at the moment, just behind Galatasaray and just ahead of Maccabi Tel Aviv. That's nay great. That's no the stature we want to have in Europe. We should be up in the 30s at least. For a club of our size, our history, our fan base, 59 just feels wrong. There is, however, good news. If you take a look at the 5-year cycle UEFA uses to calculate these rankings, we're about to lose our worst season, the COVID-disrupted 2020-21 campaign. 3 measly points from that year, and we got absolutely battered by teams like Slavia Prague, 4-1, twice. Don't even want to think about it. but that horror show is falling off the chart. And if we can replace that with another strong season, say another 16-pointer like last year, then we'll be laughing. That would give us a net gain of 13 points, which could shoot us up to the low 40s, maybe even 42nd or 43rd spot. That's a 16-place jump just from one season. So no, we're probably not dropping lower than 59th. If anything, we should be climbing. And again, it all depends on how we perform this coming year in Europe. We need another strong run, one where we not only qualify for the group stage, but also pick up some wins and points when we get there. Because let's be honest, a decent Champions League campaign isn't just about the money, although the 50 million quid from last year was lovely. It's about prestige, reputation, seedings. And speaking of seedings, let's talk about the playoff round. That's the round we'll be playing in mid to late August over 2 legs. And will be seeded, but that doesn't guarantee us a second leg at Celtic Park, just to be clear. We'll find that out once the draw's made on the 4th of August. But here's the thing. Win that one tie and boom, we're in the group stage again. Another massive windfall. Another season at the top table. But lose? Well, then it's Europa League. Not the worst fallback granted, but still a come down. 8 games guaranteed, 4 home, 4 away. But just know the same buzz. No, the same glamour. Now, let's look at the overall champions route for Champions League qualification. 42 teams in total are battling for just 5 spots. Only 5 places. But here's the good news. By the time Celtic enters the fray, 32 of those teams will already be out, eliminated, gone. We'll be joining the final 10, basically. That makes things a wee bit more manageable. As for who those teams are, well, there's a long list. Champions from Lithuania, Kosovo, Georgia, Iceland, and all sorts of nations. From Ludogorets of Bulgaria to Lincoln Red Imps of Gibraltar. And let's not forget Malmo from Sweden, Ferencvaros from Hungary, Red Star Belgrade, Dinamo Zagreb, Karabag. Some familiar names and some not so much. But let's be honest, the chances of us facing one of the real minnows by the playoff round are slim to none. In fact, thanks to the seeding, there's a few top sides we absolutely cannot face. Copenhagen, Red Star, Ferencvaros, and Bodo Glimt. All either already in the playoff round or will also be seeded if they make it that far. That narrows the field a bit. So who are our potential opponents? Well, it could be the likes of Sturm Graz from Austria or FC Basel from Switzerland. Both solid sides. Neither guaranteed to be seeded, mind you. Based on their coefficients, they're probably going to be unseeded, which means they're in the pot as potential Celtic opponents. Now, I know folk love to speculate on the draw, get their hopes up for an easy tie, or dread getting a tough one. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Even the draw takes place before the 3rd qualifying round has been played, so we won't even know our opponent for sure until a week or so before the match. It'll be one of those winner of Team X versus Team Y situations. Classic UEFA ambiguity. But that's where we are, and that's what makes this all the more exciting. Because it's close now. Just a couple of months away. And for once, the timing actually suits us. This playoff tie won't be happening in mid-July like the old days. It's set for mid to late August. That means we'll be 3 games into the Scottish Premiership by then. The squad will have had a full pre-season under their belts. Match fitness, rhythm, sharpness, no excuses. And here's the thing. I honestly think the current squad we've got is good enough to win that playoff tie. We've had some changes. No Jota, no Schlope, no Greg Taylor, at least at the start. But Tierney's back. And when you look at how we performed last season, clean sheet in Bergamo against Atalanta, clean sheet in Zagreb, nearly held out in Munich, this team has found a new steel away from home in Europe. And that's going to be key. Avoid defeat in the away leg, bring it back to Celtic Park, and I'll fancy us to finish the job. That's what we need to do. Be smart, be solid, take our chances. It's 1 tie, 2 games, get it right. And we're back where we belong, back in the Champions League group stage. And from there, who knows what can happen. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. Or there's a rumor quietly gathering steam in the East End of Glasgow, and it might just leave a few fans at Parkhead shifting in their seats. Word on the street is that Celtic's dependable left-back Greg Taylor could be heading for the Haim exit door this summer, with Greek giants PAOK reportedly preparing a tempting offer for the 26-year-old. While no official bids have been confirmed by the club, sources close to the player suggest talks are underway and the numbers being floated are anything but modest. Whispers of a multi-million-pound package have surfaced, enough to make any player stop and consider his options, especially with Taylor now a seasoned figure in the Hoops backline and arguably approaching his peak years. The Scotland international has been a steady presence under multiple managers, known more for consistency and graft than headline-grabbing flair. But that same reliability has seemingly caught the eye of PAOK, who are believed to be keen on reinforcing their defensive ranks ahead of a European campaign. With the Greek Super League becoming an increasingly attractive destination for players looking to test themselves abroad, it's not hard to see why Taylor might be tempted. Of course, nothing is certain yet, and the mood around Celtic Park remains cautiously optimistic. Taylor, contracted until 2025, has shown no public signs of unrest, and his commitment on the pitch hasn't wavered. But in football, especially in the summer window, silence can speak volumes. If the offer is as lucrative as reported, the decision could come down to the club's willingness to negotiate, or risk losing him for less next season. Supporters will be watching closely as this one unfolds. Is it just idle talk from agents stirring the pot, or the start of a genuine tug of war for one of Celtic's key fullbacks? For now, it's just a murmur, but in Glasgow, murmurs have a way of turning into roars. Hello, fan! Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.